Hello and welcome to the video. This is a quick look at the new version of the AIR65 that has just been released from BetaFPV. This is the AIR65 version 2. Now, I've done a number of videos on this fantastic little whoop. This is probably my favourite. It's made to be incredibly lightweight, and there's been several different versions, including kind of a glow-in-the-dark one that I gave away before Christmas. But this is their very latest version. It's only just come out, and I thought, as I've had it for a little while, I'm in a position to kind of tell you what I think and to go through what the changes are. So let me start unboxing it and go through some of the highlights. So the bullet points for this new AIR65 II is that it has been upgraded pretty much all the way around. It has a couple of different versions. There's a champion, racing and freestyle units, all with slightly different setups. There's a brand new flight controller in here. It's a new G4 5-in-1 V2 flight controller. Also has a slightly different canopy as the Air 2 frame and also the Air 2 canopy, which actually holds the antenna and the camera. And there's also some different propellers here. They've also changed the motors as well. These are now the latest 0702 motors, available in 25,000, 30,000 or 36,000 kV, depending on the model that you buy. That upgraded Matrix 5-in-1 flight controller has moved some of the electronic components around, has a new magnetic circuit design and also a new customized motor stator setup as well. They've enlarged the solder pads, which makes it a bit easier for installation, maintenance and DIY if you need to replace something, and upgraded the ESCs. So the maximum continuous current now is 12 amps with a peak of 18 amps compared to the version 1's 5 amp continuous, 6 amp peak. So if we have a stuck rotor or there's a bit of a crash, then the ESC is going to handle it a lot more gracefully. Are using gold-plated motor terminals as well to reduce the resistance and also increase that durability and also increase the conductivity too. Quick rundown on the differences between this and the previous AIR65. It's about a gram lighter. The racing one is actually a little bit heavier, but in the Champion edition it's about 16.6 grams versus 17.7 grams, and in little whoops like this, every single gram makes a massive difference. The size is the same, 65 millimeters. The canopy is the new Air 2 canopy. The all-in-one again is the new 1S brushless G4 5-in-1 V2 unit, which has that improvement on things like the layout of the design of the components and also an increase in the power of the ESC from 5 to 12 amps. VTX is going to be 25 to 500 milliwatts. It's got the same camera. All of the versions are higher kV for the individual motors, so that should give you a little bit more pop. And they've also changed the propeller. These are all Gemfan 1207 units, with the exception of the freestyle one has a slightly different setup to the Champion and Racing SKUs. Battery connector is the same. It's their U-shape BT 2.0 compatible, and the battery you're going to need is one of the Lava 1S2s, 280 or 320 milliamp hours. They reckon the flight time is going to be between 4 and 5 minutes, but I think that really depends on how you fly it. Express ELRS is all built in, so that's nice too. To plug it into Betaflight, you need to get the adapter cable from the box. They have removed the USB connector, and again, that's all in the search for the lowest possible weight. Once you've got that plugged into Betaflight, and you can have a look around and change everything as you want. First thing to notice when we connect is the fact that this has something in the data flash. This is great. This means that it has already been armed at the factory, and that gives me a very happy feeling. UART3 is set for the serial receiver. The VTX control is set on UART2. There's a couple of other UARTs that aren't really doing anything. 8K gyro, 4K PID loop frequency. CPU's running at 45%, so it is chugging away a little bit. So this is a high power CPU, but then you don't tend to get them on these Whoop style models. Power and battery looks like this. Again, I'll put a dump and diff below if you want to go and have a look at all the settings are. PID tuning looks like this. Again, all the detail is in the dump and diff. I'll put a link below if you want to go through it, but they tend to be pretty good at setting these up these days. It is a CRSF receiver. I'll show you what that looks like in a moment. So that is connected via a UART, so there's none of that SPI connected shenanigans. Modes tab is pretty good. Auxiliary 1 is set for arming, and then we have the angle and horizon set in other places with beeper and flip, so you might want to move things around in here, but that's a reasonable first stab. On-screen display is a little bit scruffy. Everyone has their own particular way of doing this. I've moved everything around after I shot this little bit of video so that it was a lot less cluttered for me playing around with it here. Leaving the quad plugged into USB power will, after the timeout, set the Express ELRS receiver into the standard mode. You can connect it over Wi-Fi. You can play around with it, including put your bind phrase and all those pieces on. So it's actually really, really easy to do that. And that's a lovely feature. It's nice to see these things coming with less and less of those SPI connected Express ELRS things and proper little Express ELRS receivers built in. So, bound to a radio. What's it like to fly? Well, the thing to remember, of course, is that this weighs only 26 grams and it's hovering about a third throttle, which is where you'd want a Performance 1S Whoop to be hovering at, and it's very stable in angle mode. Noise is as you would expect from a little Whoop like this, so nothing really unexpected so far. Camera performance is the same as the previous version. I found that it's good indoors, but not amazing out of doors, particularly in high contrast environments. It just doesn't seem to have the dynamic range to cope with it. But there is absolutely loads of power, much more than a typical 1S quad. I felt like when I was flying around, sometimes this would have been a 2S quad and I would have believed you. Responsive and very fun to fly. It's calm in angle mode if you're a beginner or want this to practice on, but it's an absolute hoot in acro mode. And unless you're really pushing it, I'm not sure how much a difference you're going to feel from that increased ESC capability and the increased KV on the motors either. Speed and tune on this are great. This isn't BetaFPV's first rodeo with this AIR65 setup, and it continues to be very good, very lively, feeling nice and locked in. And I'm using lower VTX powers here, so I am getting a little bit of breakup in the image. To improve that, I would use linear antennas on your goggles or use a higher power if that's legal and safe where you are. You'll struggle to get more than about 3 minutes, is my experience here, unless you are being very careful with the throttle. If you're very careful, you might get a little bit more, but if you're flying it like you stole it, you might only get 2 and a bit minutes of flight. So in summary, this is a very nice upgrade to the original AIR65, and it's been around for quite a while now in lots of different guises, and they continue to tweak and upgrade it. Now, some people that can be quite frustrating, that they invest in a little model like this and then things are tweaked and improved later on, but it kind of shows that they are listening to customers and improving those things that are potentially causing issues. Again, the bits for this are available separately, so you can actually buy the frames separately. So maybe if you break one of your previous versions, you can get hold of these frames. Both the frames themselves in various different versions, they tend to do this quite regularly now. I've got the pink and blue ones for samples here. You've also got the new Air 2 canopy, again in both pink and blue. There are a little bit more holes on here, a few more extra holes that are kind of give you a little bit more tweaks in terms of your camera angle. Also easy to get things like spare blades that also come in kind of different colors as well. I like the fact that they're making it easy to keep these things flying, because actually there's not a lot to it. The vast majority of the hard work actually goes into the all-in-one flight controller. I would personally recommend, if you're going to fly these things, get yourself some of these Lava 320s. These are what I'm flying on. Not quite getting the 4 minutes advertised, but that really depends on how you want to fly this thing. But they fit beautifully in the bottom and they work incredibly well. There is a little charger, I'll probably do a quick video on this separately actually, that they're just about to release, called the, or might actually be out at the time of releasing the video, called the Hexa charger. This is a 6-channel smart charger, which is perfect for these kind of batteries, but I'll probably do a separate video where we'll look at that in a little bit of detail. But if you're looking for a Whoop and you've liked the idea of the Air65, or maybe you've got one of the older versions that you've crashed and smashed, this is now available. So again, I'll put links down below if you want to go and have a look. But if getting one of these, I definitely make sure that you order yourself quite a few batteries, because at only kind of 3-4 minutes a flight, you're going to need a pocket full in order to have a lot of fun at the field, or to keep flying around the house and keep all that muscle memory going through the winter months. Thank you for watching my video. Check out the playlist, and adding Pedantry 60 to your search terms will help you find my content. If you haven't done so already, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. You can support the time I spend here answering questions and helping others by using the links in the video description.